Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and this is a fan request. I must reiterate, fan request between Dave Palumbo and Chris Bumstead. Dave, don't get mad at me. The fans wanted to see this one. Obviously, Dave's a huge influence in my very life. He's a good man. He's a good, solid dude. Louis Marco made fun of him, said he had Palumboism, because at the tail end of his career, hey, much like a lot of bodybuilders, Phil Heath included, his midsection grew. But today, for the comparison today, I did have to search for these types of pictures, Dave in his prime. It was the 90s, guys. There wasn't pictures, or cameras rather, like there is now. But as you can plainly see, Dave Palumbo was a force to be reckoned with. Look at this. Look at the size of the arms on the guy. He really was a mass monster. Now, Chris Bumstead, kudos to him. He's holding his own in the wheel department against Dave Palumbo, for goodness sakes. Arms, obviously, Dave would have an edge in that aspect. And these are old black and white pictures. This is like a clipping from a newspaper, for goodness sakes. Imagine trying to justify or say you're judging a bodybuilder. I never said I was judging these. I told you a long time ago. I'm not a doctor. But either way, guys, it is a fun comparison. It is a mass monster versus a classic physique division competitor. Here's the front lat spread. And for those of you who are just seeing Dave Palumbo under this light for the first time, he's pretty good, isn't he? He's not just a fluff. He's actually still jacked. Still jacked. And obviously not in his 20s anymore. Look at the raw condition of Dave's gray big quads. I think this camera is tilted a little bit ghostly, or it's a low camera taking that picture of Dave. Here's more of a straight-on shot. So these guys actually, in the front lat spread anyway, would be doing battle for sure. Bumstead is outstanding, and I'm sure if this was just radio, if you were just listening to the radio, which is possible, you're probably laughing your head off, thinking, Chris Bumstead actually doing battle with Dave Palumbo in the front lat spread? I don't think so. Well, take a look. Take a look. Dave, he'd be in the top 50 best front lat spreads of all time. I'd go as far as 30. Maybe. He's pretty good. Sucking up to Dave. Here is the side chest development, otherwise known as the turn to the side. Dave Palumbo is one great big chunk of humanity. Ripped and striated, too. He is ultimately a pretty darn good bodybuilder. Here in 2003, would that be his prime? When he was competing in the yellow background, I think that was late 90s? Should have checked. He was competing against Dennis James anyway, not here at that front lat spread. Might have been here. The contest pictures are few and far between of Dave Palumbo, I'm here to tell you, but there is instances, baby please, much like this, that prove Dave was a force. And to think he was not a pro. That goes to show you guys how difficult it is, or it was rather, to get a pro card back then. Here's the side tricep, and this is a different version of Dave altogether. Not as good. You can see his midsection began to grow, so a little bit later on in his career. And other than that, it is an actual battle, which is hilarious to think. But guys, Dave Palumbo was a big open class competitor, and Bumstead is a classic physique division competitor. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. He is a open class competitor here at the Prague Pro. And look at the legs. You guys see the legs, not lags? I don't know. I give up on it. I definitely lose sleep over that, you guys, Turn to the back. Interesting. Indeed. In. I think that Dave Palumbo would be in the top should I say 20? Top 20 rear lat spreads of all time? Could be. There is a photo shoot of him, and it looks incredible. Nick Strength and Power, years ago, he tried to pass this off as Jean Bidon Pierre Fuchs. And I've made, not that exact mistake, but I've made similar mistakes before. So, we're nobody's perfect. But I've seen other channels. Ron Harris, he was doing a rear lat spread video thingamabobber. And he actually put up that Nick Strength and Power video and showed that. And he even said it was Jean Bidon Pierre Fuchs. But it's Dave Palumbo, guys. It's Dave Palumbo. That's how good he was. People think he's Jean-Pierre Fuchs in the back. Maybe top 3 rear lat spreads. There you go, Dave. Now that'd suck it up to Dave. He'd be top 30. There's a lot of bodybuilders out there in the history of the Antholds. Now, when it comes to the rear lat spread, I'll be honest. Dave has the tools, that's for sure. You can see those big, thick lat insertions. But it just didn't translate as well as the rear lat spread. And this is an rusty old photo shoot. So you really can't tell anything. Even here, though, you can see striations in Dave's big bum. Here is a tilted Dowsley, little bit later on in his career, rear double bi from Dave. And you tell me who's got thicker lat insertions. Wow. Did you have one of those machines, Dave? I don't think Dave doesn't even comment on his own videos, so he's not going to comment on this one. But I think he must have had one of those Dorian Yates back lat machines. Really built the thickness, very symmetrical, those big, thick lat insertions of David. Wow. Very impressive. Taking nothing away from the condition of this Chris Bumstead. I mean, we're not going to just talk about Dave the whole time, are we? I guess so. That means Dave's probably beating Bumstead in a lot of these shots, and I just don't want to say anything. Because Bumstead's got a lot of love. A lot of fans. Here's the abs and thigh. There's a shot for Chris to win. And anytime that midsection is the main focus of the pose, the front double biceps, the little tiny paper-thin waistline of Chris Bumstead, it really brings out the rest of his physique, doesn't it? Of course, Dave, he was a true mass monster. The guy did everything in his power to get bigger and bigger. The arms, the legs, the back. I mean, the guy was a monster. And also, compared to Chris Bumstead, I gotta be honest with you guys, or you guys will hate me. Also, the midsection, thicker than Bumstead's. Here's the most muscular. And another example that it's not just me. And if you're on old-time radio, do what you can to give a look, at least at this most muscular pose. I mean, there's just nothing you can say that justifies Bumstead beating Dave. Ooh, now here is a crabs, a nice crab position. Bumstead does have a grainy type quality, and look at the split, the old school, old world split in that chesticle area. Unbelievable. Looks just like Arnold. Looks like the surface of the moon. But anyway, yes, Dave Palumbo, also known for that hard, grainy nature. He was granite. Look at this. It was Louis Marco says, granites, baby, please, granite. So there you go, Dave. A Louis Marco impression of you from a spawn of Louis Marco, who really respects you and likes you. I messaged Dave one time, and he took the time to message me back. Now, unlike a lot of them famous people, Dave took the time, messaged me back. So much love and respect, obviously. And Chris Bumstead, the only Canadian Mr. Olympia champion, right? Did Dillette win there? Hold on, I'll check. 4th. No, Dillette never won the Olympia. Anyway, just a little fun for you guys. Is it fun? You guys having some fun? You clicked on to have some fun, right? Maybe you're not having some fun. Have a great one, guys.